We're going to get a bit more complicated now and go for a dowel joint. So, as with previously, we're going to make sure we're in a sensible folder. So the wood joints folder I've got here. We're going to name our drawing by saving it. And the same as previously, we make sure our origins are on, select R for rectangle, create our first plane here. And as ever, let's make it 70 and 200. Finish that sketch. E for extrude, make it 18. And then now we're going to make an offset plane. So we're going to construct an offset plane on this surface here. And we're going to offset quite a long way to 30 millimeters this time. So important to remember that. So 30 millimeters. And this is on this plane that we're going to draw our dowels. And then we're going to do another offset plane, this time from the offset plane. And again, come across by 30. So important we remember these numbers. So we've got our original and then two offset planes there. So on this one, the second offset plane, I'm going to draw my rectangle for my second body. So make sure it lines up perfectly here. And make sure it's exactly 70. And we're tabbing exactly 18. So we've now got our two, also the beginnings of our two parts. So E for extrude, and make that 150. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to have our dowel joints hit our dowels between the two with holes in them. So that's all going to be very much a repeat of what's going on. So it's quite simple to do when we get going. So new sketch on this plane. And we need to make a guide for ourselves. So another 70 by 18 here. And if we just look at what we've got there, we've got a drawing on this plane here that we're going to build our dowels off. So we're still working here. So let's get back to the front. And what we want is two dowels in the middle of this. So it's quite simple. I'm just going to draw a circle and I'm going to make that 6 millimeters. Enter that, and another one also 6 millimeters. And then what I need to do is position these exactly where I want them. So zooming in, I'm going to click D for dimension, or I could have just come up to the top and got the dimension tool, but D for dimension. And from the center of the circle to this line here, oops, I didn't get the center of the circle, so I'm going to escape out of that. So I'm just going to come up here and switch off the second body. So I think that might be getting in the way. That's it. Yeah, the second body was in the way. So the center of the circle to this line. So go back in D for dimension. Center of that circle to this line. It's showing me 8.14. Yeah, I should be able to pull that up. Yeah, there we are, 8.14, and I want to change that to 9, so it's halfway through the thickness. And then again, the center to the top, and this time I want that to be 15 millimeters. Okay, and I want to repeat that down here. So the center of the circle to the line, make that 9. And the center of the circle to the edge, make that 15. Okay, so now we know that everything is in the right and correct place. So if we finish that sketch, put our body back on, we've now got these whole sort of the circles between these two. So the first thing I'm going to do is click E for extrude, get the circle and this circle, and I'm going to pull them out so we get to the edge of our body. So that's the 30 mil, and then I want to cut 9 millimeters into the material, so I need to come in a further 9, Let's just make that 39. I've now made 9mm holes into my body, like that. So I need to do the same for this plane. So I switch my sketches back on, because it tends to switch them off. I select my 2 circles again, E for extrude. Where do I want to extrude? I want to extrude this thing and this thing. But this time I want to go the other way. And again, I want to go to 39. So I've now got holes in that body too. All I'm left to do now is to make the actual dowels. So this time I'm going to E for extrude, get these again. But this time I need to make a little modification. So instead of one-sided, I want it to be symmetrical. I want it to be a new body. And I want to come out by 9mm either side. So now if I switch off the sketch and switch off my origins, you can see that I'm left with this dowel joint. So the dowels connect into the holes to make that nice and strong. And again, if I wish to, I can put the nice wooden appearance on this. I seem to have missed that. The nice wooden appearance on. I've got that wrong. So let's come up here, visual style shaded. Yeah. And I can shade out those ones as well. And there is my completed dowel joints.